Okay, so it looks like we are starting a car series because I have this topic I need to speak on. I do. And it's the next day from the last video that I just posted. It's the next day from that video, God talking. It's a full moon today. The last full moon of the year, 2024, is in 3 or 4 days. It's 31 days in December. Listen to me. Oh my goodness. Listen to me. God been real loud. I'm finna drop it on you. Let that phone just drop. Listen. I've been researching so much different stuff because I have now come into this point in time in my life where beforehand, baby light green, beforehand, I don't want to start having no kids. I want to start having no husband. Let me tell you how messed up my mindset was. Let me tell you how deeply I was on the tip of, I don't want no spouse. I was so deep into it, let me tell you. I didn't want no kids. I used to tell myself if I had kids, I was going to turn myself into a single mother. I don't care if the man wants to be in my life with the child or not. You can be in your child. Like, I ain't going to stop you from that. You can see your child whenever you want to. You just ain't going to see me. That was my whole mentality. And it's like, and I understood it. I understood that that's not a mentality you should have. Period. Not just about if you raising somebody's kids, your kids. You shouldn't have a mentality as that at all, man. You need to fix that. So that's what I did. I stopped dating. I ain't even dated in a long time. It's been about when the last time I went on a date? Because I don't want to say I ain't went on no dates at all this year and be lying. I did. I went out. And it wasn't a date, but I met somebody and he ended up taking me to somewhere else to have. So you can't kind of say that was a date. Anyway, that's not the point. I have not been in a relationship. I am 27 years old. Just turned 27 last month. I have not been in a relationship since I was 21. Back then, when I had this conversation with myself and I said to myself, I don't like people. I don't. I settled on having friendships that were so close. We were so close. We loved each other so much. People thought we were damn near in a relationship. No, it was codependency. It's trauma bonding. It's what that was. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. It was all fake. Okay, you know. And it was fake intentionally and unintentionally. It just was what it was. The point I'm making here is I had a lot of holes and a whole lot of beliefs that were very limited and harmful, very harmful to me, to the people around me, to the people I was coming in contact with, because I wasn't short on receiving date proposals, and that in turn caused me to fall deeper into the spiral of, okay, I can't go out my house without being presented with an opportunity to go on a date. So what I'm gonna do is make myself so unattractive that the rabbit hole was deep, is what I'm trying to tell you. The girl mind wasn't minding how it was supposed to. It was not. But I knew what I was doing was not okay, but I was in survival mode. And to me, it was all about protecting myself. This might not be the best way to protect myself, but this is the only way I know how to protect myself right now. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna be. This type of person that people gonna come in contact with for right now until I figure out something better. And like I said, since I've been 18, I've been walking with God, and He's been showing me the error of my ways. He ain't gonna let me incorporate a belief without knowing that, baby, that ain't it. He just ain't gonna let it happen. Not for me. Not for me. So I've come so far I've come so far. I used to cringe at the thought of me being vulnerable with someone. At the thought of, because I looked at it as weak. I'm talking about I was so deep in a rabbit hole that if I cried, I would want to fight myself. Like, you a weak bitch. That's how I used to feel towards myself, though. Like, you weak as hell. Out here crying for these fuck happy. Fuck people. I'm talking about serious. Me, to myself. Me. You couldn't catch me talking to myself like that. Nah, you couldn't. I can't. It's impossible for me to even. And that was the thing. It was so easy for me to talk to myself like that because that's how I was brought up. That's how, people that I love spoke to me. So that's how I thought it was okay to speak to me until I realized, no, the fool kid ain't. And I stopped speaking to myself that way. And that in turn, on the outside, caused me to not allow people to speak to me that way that was important in my life. I'm sorry, I can't do it. You can have it. Over there. Anyway, so it got to the point where so much was changing spiritually, internally. I had healed so many messed up beliefs about how I'm supposed to be in this world, and I incorporated more of God's will rather than my free will of just doing whatever and being how I'm supposed to be and being how I want to be. I was reborn. I took in wisdom, enlightenment. I used the experiences that I was going through as moments to learn the lesson and take accountability. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I don't care who did what to me. The first thing I'm going to do is take accountability. I'm going to still cuss their ass and fuck out behind closed doors. But I'm going to take accountability too, because at the end of the day, you allowed it. Why would you allow that? They some fuck ass people. Why would you allow that? That's how you have to be with yourself. You have to be that way with yourself. If you can be that way with other folks, be it with yourself too. Because that's how you going to grow. That's how you going to boss up. That's how you going to... Because now at this point in time in my life, people ain't even trying me like that no more. Back then they used to try me because I was a people pleaser. I just used to say what you want, do what you want. I just want you to be happy. I don't give if you happy or not no more. It's about me. It's about me. The self-respect is so high to the point to where it's damn near arrogance. I don't care though. I love me. And the thing I love about God is He knows how I learn. So when it comes to me learning, He gives grace. And He allows the opportunity and the space for me to go out here and mess up. Go on out here and mess up. So you can know what to do and what not to do, because your intentions are never ill. You might mess up and say some messed up stuff to folks, but your intentions is never ill. So what you get back, it will never be ill intent. Due to when it comes to your karma. When it comes to you having to learn a lesson, and how a lot of people be like, you be in the midst of a whole lot of drama, but it's always like you skate up out of it unscathed. Because at the end of the day, I was never in that drama to cause drama. That was just the what happened because I wasn't aware of the best way to deal with that situation. But my intent was never to harm anybody. Cheat code. Anyway, so cause God real loud. God be real loud when you listen. Can't hide from nothing when you listening. Oh, goodness. I done been all these different phrases He been putting out here for me. And I've been researching everything. And I always considered, I hate labels. Hate is a strong word, but I'm gonna be for real about it. I really do not like labels. I don't like labeling myself as anything except for who I am, which is a very elevated spirit down here experiencing what it is to be human in every aspect, whether good or bad, happy, mad, sad, however you want to label it. That's the experience you meant to have down here. Because otherwise, outside of this world, you would not have that experience. So be grateful for it. And that's just how I am. That's how I move. That's how I look at it. Okay. So when you sit and you call somebody an alpha male or alpha female or a beta female, a sigma male, all that kind of stuff. I'd be like, I didn't care about that. I don't care about that is. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just out here trying to, But at the end of the day, there's a name for everything. So you working towards being something, but that something is something. That something has a name. So God said, and this had been popping up for years. Stoicism. And what it is to be in the many traits. The many traits of being a Sigma female. And I was just like, that don't apply to me. Because whenever I look at myself, even though I don't exert myself as that, to people or in my environment, unless it's called for, unless I know for a fact that I'm the one that knows what's best in this situation, so I'm gonna lead this situation. I'm gonna put my 2 cents in, and whoever follows. Whoever don't. I ain't finna argue no about it. I just know I know the best way to go about this, and other people seem not to. So I'm gonna handle it this way. Let's do it. Did not know that that's a direct trait of a certain kind of personality type. Care about all that. But I have been drawn to stoicism. I have been drawn to, the Sigma personality type. And if I could label myself as any kind of personality type, it would be alpha female, simply because of the environment of females in my life that I grew up around, which are very much so confident, strong, fierce, like aggressive personalities. They're masculine, hard. They very tough. They're just the type of women I grew up around. So that's what that's some of the definitions to being an alpha female or an alpha male or an alpha period. Big leadership energy. Them the kind of people I was surrounded by. My mama always was big on never being a follower. If you're going to do something, be the one that leading to do it. Which it backfired on her, because I don't think she really realized that being a leader is being a leader in your own personal uniqueness. And being a leader in my own personal uniqueness, she ain't with it. But that ain't none of my business. So, I'm just doing what you taught me to do. I'm being a leader. You just got to roll with the punch. But, so I started researching a little deeper. Because I had never heard of a Sigma female or male or all that type stuff. But I researched deeper into it. And what a Sigma female or male is simply an alpha male or an alpha personality type and a beta personality type mixed. It's someone who knows how to lead and be on top of shit. Excuse the language. And at the same time, concede, submit, and allow someone else who's more equipped to run, lead, and be on top of ish. They don't fight, they don't argue, they just get the job done. Because they understand that that's what it's about. It's not about who is on top. It ain't about who can run things, so I ain't gotta ever do nothing. It's about what's the best way to get this done. What's the best avenue to take to make sure things running the way it needs to be ran? It don't matter who right, who wrong. How do we fix the situation? That's the kind of mindset Sigmas have, so to speak. It was what I'm learning, realizing. Okay. So I'm just like that crazy. Because I never would have labeled myself as anything other than a alpha female because of how my personality used to be. But I have to realize I'm not like that anymore. In certain ways, I was like that. In certain ways, I was. So I was already exuding the Sigma personality type in certain ways. But it's like when you don't know who you are, people will tell you who you are. I'm seeing that in more ways than one, a lot often in my life, that at the end of the day, if you don't stand 10 toes on who you are, who you choose it to be, motherfucker gonna tell you who. You're scared. you're a people pleaser. Yeah. You a do girl. Yeah. They will tell you who you are. So, said that to say, going back to relationships. Real big on relationships now. I want a husband. I want a husband now. I want it. I want one. I grew up looking at all different dynamics of relationships and seeing none of them work. None of them work. So I forced myself to not want none of them. They don't work anyway. Why would I put something in my life that don't work? Don't even make sense. But I realized that it's not that it does not work because it's just something that does not work. We are humans. A part of being human is needing, wanting, desiring, having, maintaining connections. That's just point blank period. So it's like, how do you maintain connections then? What is the healthiest, best way to maintain connections? And the healthiest, best way to maintain connections is knowing what your values are, having self-respect, being comfortable with being you authentically, genuinely, respecting other people's the same as you expect them to respect you, and being with somebody that have those same values. It's that simple. It's that simple. I said, well, God, why are people out here making it different? But the reason why people making it different because everybody in this world has the mentality of get me, I'm gonna get you before you get me. I'm gonna get mine before you try to get yours. You know, everybody is all about self. Nobody is for the development of other people. You know, we are all in here in this world to find something that is easy to us that seems hard to other people and figuring out a way to get it to them so that they can learn and we can teach them and we can serve them in that way. But no, everybody about, well, what do you have that I can take to help serve me that I ain't got to give you nothing for? The games. Y'all know the games. Just that's that devil energy. That's that lost energy. Because I'm going to tell you this. There's a difference between struggling when you're a lost soul and struggling when you're following God's will. There's a difference. I've been in both. And I'm going to just tell you this. Struggling when you're under God's will it's no competition. This is where I want to be. Because things that you don't want to be struggling to survive out here. If you're going to struggle, I would rather it be me struggling to get rid of old ways so that I can incorporate new beautiful things rather than me struggling to make sure I got heat in the winter. Who wants to struggle to survive? And when you're a lost soul, that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. So that's what it means to be reborn. Giving yourself over intentionally. Sitting with God and saying, hey, my life is in shambles. You see it. So I'm trying to see, because I'm doing it wrong. So what can you teach me, tell me, show me to make me, so I can figure out how to do this right? I'm trying to do it how you do it. Because if you were down here doing it, how would you do it, God? Because I'm trying to do it like that. He done showed you that already. That's what Jesus, following Jesus' way of living when he was down here, figuring out and maintaining and cultivating and acquiring the Jesus Christ consciousness, walking like Buddha walked, the enlightened one, becoming enlightened, gaining wisdom and insight, utilizing it in your life every day. All that I'm gonna do a whole video about these religions and how all of them is the same thing. But anyway, all of that to say, this video is really for the people out here who hollering about they doing everything right. And they want to do right by somebody to be in a relationship with them and blah blah blah. But one of the most difficult lessons I'm seeing when it comes to being in a relationship, a real relationship, one of those unconditional, loving, fulfilling relationships, is you gotta sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice. You should never sacrifice when it comes to your identity. But when it comes to sacrificing to maintain the peace on both sides, in the relationship you have with somebody, in the connection you have with somebody, you have to learn how to sacrifice. If you can't deny yourself off of stuff dealing with your ego, when it comes to your ego, if you can't deny yourself, you don't need to be in a relationship. I saw this video with this lady. I talked to this matchmaker. This is her now. Spoke to this matchmaker. And she tells me that, due to the answers of the questions that she was asking me, answers I was giving her, she believed that she wasn't the best matchmaker to work with me because I still had a lot of things that I needed to change and incorporate within myself before I could be in a relationship. Because she was saying she wanted a man who's in control of things. She wanted a man who's on top of stuff. She wanted a man to be a man. And at the same time, want to holler about shit alpha female. Listen, because I used to be like this and I got so mad with her on it. Because she was talking like, and she want to try to tell me that I'm not worth being in a loving relationship. That's not what that lady said. That lady said you got a lot of work to do before you can be in a successful loving relationship. That's what she said. That's what you said she said. But when in your head you heard that you're not worth it. You not. Not right now, you not. How you gonna get in a relationship with a man talking about you want him to control everything while you controlling everything? You so proud to be and say that you're an alpha female. Alpha female don't relinquish control to nobody but themselves. Not even their secretaries can get in and control something in their absence, because they're going to be constantly calling all the time, hey, did you do such and such and such, like such and such and such, because the way I do it, such and such and such. Oh, you did such and such. That ain't how I want it done. I need you to go back and do it on such and such. What man going to deal with that? What man in full-blown control going to deal with that? And vice versa. When a woman knows herself, when a woman has self-respect, when a woman ain't gonna let nobody walk all over her, but at the same time ain't gonna let nobody lead her into some bull crap because she was doing just fine before she got with you. What man and woman is gonna allow themselves to deal with bull crap when before you they were at immense peace? They was able to relinquish control when they needed to. They was able to be in control when they needed to. Why would they then get with someone who causes them, who isn't a team player, who don't know how to be in a partnership? Because being partners is, okay, you good at this? Go ahead, baby. I'm good at that. I'm going to be over here. I ain't really good with that over there, but you was amazing at it. You got it. Instead of, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be the one to do it. I'm going to figure it out. That don't match. It don't match. And she at the same time on her boss because I'm an alpha female and I just cannot see myself with a beta male. That's all you going to ever have. them the only men that going to feel comfortable enough to be with you, babe. Them the only men that's gonna feel comfortable enough to allow you to lead and stronghold and be in control of everything, because they don't want to be, so they don't mind letting you be there, but you ain't gonna never feel comfortable with them for the simple fact of you don't want to control everything. You said it yourself. You want a man that's in control, which means you don't want to control everything, but you have difficult releasing control. Come on now. I think people get it confused because people love to want to see and holler about some. As a female, I want a man to pay all the bills. I want a man to be all of this while I just be over here and be a woman. That ain't how it works. And with these men, I want a woman that cook and clean and be all of that. And while I'm over here running things and doing my own thing and all this, that ain't how that works. Relationships are built on balance. The relationship will never be balanced if you yourself is not balanced. You be mad about it, you can argue about it, nobody care. Don't change the fact. You can feel how you want to feel when it comes to facts. Don't change the fact. It will never change the fact. Facts do not change based off of emotions. Facts are facts. Period. The way we should all cultivate ourselves is being what would be called a Sigma person. Because in any dynamic, only time that it's okay to be just stronghold controlling everything is when you are in corporate America as a manager, as a business owner, as a, somebody who that title needs someone to be in control all the time. There's no room for error. In relationships, that's not the case. Stop bringing that business mindset into relationships. Learn how to be vulnerable. Learn how to take accountability. Learn how to change behavior. Learn how to sacrifice. It ain't easy. Testament. I'm in the midst of incorporating that within myself. That's why I'm so gung-ho about it. But it's like when I have these revelations, because I had to come to the store, and I had this revelation right before I came to the store, and I was like, oh, let's take a drive. Go to YouTube, study stoicism, study Sigma personality type, study healthy relationships, study attachment styles, study, what's it called? Look, I gave you enough to study, to be honest. That's going to take a minute for you to understand and incorporate it in your life. Study those different things. Be aware of them. Study love languages. Be aware of what yours are. Be aware of which ones. Because I just this past week learned that I have a certain love language that I didn't think was too big for real in my life. But I realized it is big because when it happens, I turn into a little you love me. That be, yeah. I ain't gonna say what it is, but yeah, for what I thought it was before, I thought that's just what it was. I thought the rest of them was like, they could be there and they don't have to. But, and then it's just this one right here where it has to be. This has to be. Or you has to get out of my life if you can't maintain it, But hey, your boundaries are your boundaries. Your expectations are your expectations. Make them realistic. Don't just sit here and holler about I want, I desire, but you ain't put no work in to get it. In order to recognize when you're in the presence of someone who can provide that for you, you'd have to already be comfortable with it. And if you don't have anybody in your environment to reflect that back to you, you ain't comfortable with it. So in order to be comfortable with it, you gotta be it. It's that simple. It's that simple. It ain't easy to do, but it's that simple. You gotta be it. You want a man that's in full control, you gotta be somebody that can release full control. You want to be in full control, you gotta be with somebody who's okay with you controlling, but you gotta also know how to be led. Because if you out here just moving it based off of what you think something is, you're gonna mess up every time. So you still have to be able to allow somebody else to lead you. And no man wants to allow another man to lead him. So you don't look for a man to lead you. You look for somebody or something or some entity that knows all and will never fail on letting you know the best way to go. You go and you follow them. So you always being guided right. That's what us women do before we get with the man that God lets us know he good. That one right there, that one of mine right there. That's a divine masculine. I'm trying to tell y'all that I ain't it's been rare that I done stood in front of divine masculine. It's been rare. But you know when these men out here, when they of God. You know when they of God. You know when they of God. That's why when I started experiencing them kind of men, I started finding them on social media, and I could tell, like, yeah, That's brethren right there. Because I consider myself a divine feminine. I do. I've been rocking with God. I've been walking high. I've been changing my ways, taking accountability. I was just talking about this today with him. I got to crying about it. Because I'm like, God, I'm tired of all these different things I have to keep releasing. All these different things I have to keep denying myself. I don't do nothing that I used to do in my past no more. And you trying to sit here and tell me that I'm supposed to be looking forward to what's in the future and being comfortable with the peace that's now in my life. And that's all great and dandy. But I'm bored. And then nothing following you ain't fun. Where's the fun? I told you I'd be a bit much reckless. Might be reckless talking to God sometimes. I be having to get myself together. But I be like, I'm bored. Where's the fun? I am too much of a fun-loving person for you to take away everything that I considered fun and tell me and you ain't gave me nothing in return. What's the reciprocation? It's starting to feel like the people in my past I had to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of you, God. I don't want to have to get rid of you. But there's this thing that God, try to teach us. It's a little small thing called faith. Because I'd be lying if I didn't sit here and tell you for the past 2 years, he been real loud about what he got coming in for me. All the time he telling me what he got coming in for me. And it's like, to need that much reassurance, you need that much reassurance, because he ain't stopped telling you, yeah, you still like, God, get it together. He know my heart. He know his child need. Girl, I'm cute. But yeah, I want children now. I want my child to have the best of everything. So yes, I want a man that's gonna be what that child needs to be. So because of that, I have to sit down and know what it is that I value and what the type of values I want a man to incorporate into his son. If I was to have a son for him, what kind of man would he make my son into? I have to pay attention to that. So in order for me to know what I want my son to be, I have to know and understand what kind of man I want. And in order to know and understand what kind of man I want, I have to know what I don't want. I have to know what I don't like. I have to know what I do like. And in order to know that, I have to get out here and experience life. I have to deal in failures and deal in successes. And I have to sit and deal with bad emotions and good emotions so I can know the difference. That's just part of life. And with that, I'm gonna go in the store. Y'all, we always do this. But I love you. So I'm here talking to you because I love you. And what I learn, I will teach you. And because everything that I learn, I want you to filter it through your relationship with God personally. I'm telling you right, because it's coming straight from God. But my life ain't exactly like yours. So there might be ways that you need to incorporate in your life that aren't privy to me, because it probably comes second nature to me. So God don't really be too big on showing it to me. So for you personally, it might be a little different. Everything I teach you, everything you take from me that you feel like resonates with you, I want you to go and sit with God and say, how do I need to incorporate this in my life? Because I'm going to tell you this. We make prayer out to be all these different things. All prayer is you sitting down, having an honest conversation with God. I talk about how reckless I be talking to God sometimes, but to be honest, God already know how I am. He already know how you are. He already know how you gonna come to him when you get fed up with stuff being how it is, and you gonna come with the fire. He ain't scared to get burned. He made fire. Boy, that man some serious. He made fire. I love you, and I love me too, and I love God, so I love you. Yeah.